Okay, welcome everyone to Stock Market Technical Analysis. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start out today with triple Qs and, big rally today, gap and go, basically gapped up and just the buyer stepped right in and bid it up. And again, that's why I talked about in the last couple of days why I covered my short trade right there at support on last Friday at 382.79. And so far, that's been the right decision. So we were able to catch, this breakdown or this sell signal right here. Moved all the way down, caught that entire short. Caught a little bit of a long trade, this is active trading stuff, but I did catch the long trade right here and then re-shorted it and closed the short out down here. All right, now I wasn't long, I didn't flip long. And right now I'm flat on the market. I don't have a position in triple Qs. We are, we are breaking above. So if we go to the hourly chart, we have this potential downtrend line and we gapped up and we're above that right now. So let's see how the day closes. We have about 1 hour left. I think we're likely going to close with a breakout above this area. And then if I go back to the daily also, you'll see that where we stopped short, where the buyer stepped in at 382.60 was the former high. Right back here. That was this former high back in September. So we fell down, undercut it intraday, recovered, and we're bouncing off of that. So no real breakdowns. In general, the buyer stepped in exactly where the major support, where you think they'd step in at. And I don't see any real reason to short the market right now, at least this indice. I don't see any real reasons. One thing, though, on the weekly, which is a potential major topping stick, is this big bearish engulfing with the confirming candle. All right, so I would want to see, you don't want to see the market take out the all-time high. We might be able to tag it, but I don't think we really should trade and close above that all-time high on the weekly chart. If we do, which is possible, then likely that's not the top, and this bearish engulfing is not going to be the end of this bull run. So we'll watch for that, watch for any kind of reversal, this week, see if there's more selling that comes in. As of right now, I don't see it, so I'm just going to stay flat. Moving on to the SPY, it's really the same picture. Again, the SPY, because the FANG stocks make up a pretty heavily weighting in the SPY, and triple Qs are about 40%. Microsoft and Apple, I think, is about 40% of the triple Qs. It really comes down to just those few stocks for the most part. SPY is rallying pretty strongly today. Now, again, like I'd say is watch that all-time high, that opening candle right there, sitting at about 471.07. I wouldn't want to see a weekly close above that. You see a weekly close above it, it's likely we're just going to continue to make new all-time highs, and this wasn't a potential topping stick. But again, we'll only know that in hindsight. I don't see any real reason to be short right here and now. Going to the daily chart on SPY, there's your resistance. So that would be the objective area to short at, would be up here, up around 470.80. If you get up there, that's where you'd want to, that's where you could take a shot at it with a stop slightly above. And again, like I said, they might chop through it intra-week, but this is all about closing above that on the weekly candle. So things to watch for there. For me, I'm just gonna hold off on any trades on the general indices for now. Another thing to look at though, XLF. So this one, if I roll out and look at the daily chart, this is your March 2020 lows. We've got an uptrend. I've got it kind of circled right here, and we broke trend right here. So clear breakdown, big gap down, and a sell down. We're coming in for a back test. So anything, if this wants to rally and do a full back test, this is objective to short right up in here, wherever, whenever you get up there, that makes sense. Look for that to, and it'll chop around a little bit intraday, I think. But I would look for that to reject and then head lower from up there. So if you can get up there, that's an objective spot, in my opinion, to take a short. Looking at the divergences, we had negative divergence. So our last divergent high was right here, meaning we made a new higher high in price, and yet momentum was still lower, where we were downtrending on the RSI. And, you know, and on the PPO right there. You can see how we're just downtrending. So I think we're likely, you know, if we're going to backtest, that's a good spot. I think we'll probably reject somewhere right there, and that's, you know, stop somewhere above. Long trade ideas I've talked about. Vale and Rio continue to work. Vale's up another 2.5% today. So again, the buy signal on this really came, you know, the clean buy signal was right here on the 22nd. And I've talked about this in several videos. We had bullish divergence building, and there was a recovery of the trend line, and we're, you know, continuing higher. So again, still looking at that 15.14 as a near-term resistance, and then potentially up to 16.11. Rio, this one's starting to break out too. So this one, I actually took a position in this one today. Bullish divergence, so we keep drifting lower. We kept drifting lower in price while momentum's moving higher. That's your bullish divergence. Bullish falling wedge pattern, I've got it marked out there in blue. Kind of chopped around here, but today gapping up, and that's a breakout. All right, that's a buy signal. When you gap up like that, that's impulsive. That's the same as if it was a big green candle. It's a big breakout buy signal. So this one looks like it's, you know, starting to take off to the upside. Probably have some resistance right here, somewhere right about there. Oh, if I can get my line marked out, it's right about there. And that's about 71.41. So look for, you know, pullback up around there. But yeah, I think that looks good. So I like it. And then BHP, this one already broke out. This was, you know, breakout of this symmetrical triangle and came with bullish divergence. So again, all three of these look bullish, and they continue to show bullish price action now. Short trade idea, MGM. Okay, so this one is right at resistance. So we basically had a divergent high up here. That wasn't a sell signal though. Your sell signal really came, your clean sell signal was right here on the November 26th when we broke this trend line, because you can see the previous 2 days we closed right on it. Here we closed right on it, and here we closed right on it. On the 26th we gapped down and didn't close, you know, we closed below that trend line. So then we traded lower. We're coming in for a back test right there. So you see we have not recovered. It's not impulsively rejecting. So probably tomorrow, we're probably going to chop around here for a little bit. You know, they're intraday, they'll chop it around a little bit. But this is objective area to short this thing. And you're coming off this trend line right here. You can see all the times we held support. One there, there's support, there's support, there's support. They stepped in early there, but so now we're at resistance. You want to short at resistance, and that's where we're at. So I'd look for this to sell down and a move down to 34.13. I still like it. I am short this one. NVDA, now this one's really stretched. It's not really I don't like to buy stocks that are just completely stretched. But interesting price action yesterday. You have this short-term time trend line right here on the daily chart. Yesterday you can see they basically intraday made it look like it was going to break, and then they ramped it right back up and closed right on support right there. Today gapping up and up 7%. So that's a bear trap. You know, it's basically shorts covering. All right, so this is all the people took the short here, and then when it recovered, they're covering the short today as it's bouncing. So still, I think this is going to break soon. To be honest, now that we have this fake out move, I think you see another break of this level, and it's probably the real deal. And this one has a ways to fall. So key levels to watch for. One thing I'm looking for on NVIDIA, look at that negative divergence right there. All right, so we continue, and it's on the PPO as well, but so we continue to pop and make these new highs, and momentum's just dropping right off. We might run up and make a new high, and that's probably going to be the last divergent high. Not an area to short, but what I'd be looking for is a break of this trend line right there on the daily chart. You break that, and I've got a longer term support line. It's down here, all the way down here at about 213 or so. So I would look for a potential, break of that, and then that would probably usher in a move down to this longer term trend line. Depending on when we break, that could be a move of 30% or so. So I'll be watching that. Right now, no action. You know, it's just a setup. And gold, no real change here in gold. We're just in the consolidation phase right now. Longer term, We've got this uptrend line here in gold. Started in 2018. I've got all the tags of support circled, and we are still holding that trend line. So we're in an area of support. I think it's going to bounce. I don't see any real, indication that we're not. I mean, Newmont, you can see, is just, rallying the last 3 days pretty strongly, but we don't have clear direction yet. We don't have a clear sign that a new uptrend has started in the miners and gold. We just have the fact that we're holding support. We have bullish divergence. Newmont made a new divergent low right here, December 2nd. I have it circled. I talked about that being kind of a key, like a good area to buy, basically, because we had a new divergent low. See the, right there. So the momentum was moving higher, trending up, and price was moving low, and we were right at support. All right, that's key support here. You can see all the tags of that. So it's a key area. That's where you want to buy at. Buy at support with divergence. That's usually pretty good. And if you did buy there, you're already up by roughly 7-8% on that. So okay, so I still like it, and we'll just watch these, see if anything changes. As of right now, they still look bullish. Commodity trade, I like soybeans. SOYB is the ETF. So on this one, you can see we have a clear downtrend. Soybeans have been correcting from the all-time, or not the all-time highs, but the recent highs that these things have made. They've fallen about 16%. That's pretty good for a correction. And we've started to build bullish divergence. So you see I have it marked out right there. So there's your last divergent low. We had a downtrend line. We broke to the upside. We're back testing. We haven't really had liftoff quite yet. So this is kind of another back test, but we're still holding above that. So I am looking for something like that in soybeans. And we'll just watch some of these key levels. Probably march right to the highs pretty quickly on this one, which is right there at about 24.80. So we'll look for that. But I like it so far. I am long these. Okay, and that's really all I got today. So guys, leave me a thumbs up. Check out the course, link in the description below. Catch you on the next one.